So as you follow along to this routine, all our sticks that we use are color coded. And if you buy yours off of Amazon or Temu or wherever you buy your tools, if you bought the same ones, they obviously don't come color coded. So I'm just gonna show you and explain which are which, just so that you know. So we don't use these first two because they're too big to use for anything, so you can just set those aside, because in most of my videos, we don't use them. And so you're left with these. So in this order, you can look, and it basically goes in this order from biggest to smallest: green, blue, white, yellow, pink, and black, down to the smallest one.
Well, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are painting on a 4-inch ceramic glazed coaster. If you purchase the non-glazed, it's actually an excellent choice, but the only difficult part will be erasing your mistakes if you do happen to have one, because it literally absorbs the paint. Also, make sure that you are using multi-surface paints. That way you can bake after the class at 325 for 30 minutes.
So for today's class, I'm going to be using this color palette. For paint color A, I'm using Craft Smart Multi-Surface White. Do keep in mind that all of these colors are going to be multi-surface. For paint color B, I'm using Craft Smart Multi-Surface Cocoa Bean. For paint color C, I'm using Craft Smart Multi-Surface Spanish Tile. For paint color D, I'm using Craft Smart Multi-Surface Plumberry. Paint color E is Craft Smart Multi-Surface Plum. And paint color F is Craft Smart Multi-Surface Radiant Gold. So we're gonna get started on the coaster, and for the first step, we're gonna take the blue stick and we're going to start with paint color C. Also, we won't be using paint color A today because it's on a white coaster and most of the A's are already white, so we won't be able to see it on there. So paint color C, and you're going to just put it right on top of that little mark that I made. Okay, next up, we're going to take the pink twirly. We're going to use the bigger end with paint color D. And we're going to do the 4 guiding dots: north, south, west, east. Yes, big end. And then once you have those 4 guiding dots, you're going to go in between and add a dot in between each gap. So you should end up with 8 all the way around. Okay, next up, we're going to take the pink twirly, the smaller end, with paint color B as in boy. And we're going to put a small dot in between each gap.
We're just doing one in between? Oh, we're doing a small one in between? Okay.
Okay, next up, we're going to take the white twirly, the bigger end, with paint color E. And we're going to put these dots above the smaller ones we just did.
Paint color E?
Yes, paint color E.
wasn't sure. Yeah. Thank you. I think this is the first time I've done this with the little dot in between. I like it.
Okay, next step, we're going to take
No, don't.
we're going to take the white twirly, the smaller end, with paint color C, and we're going to place a small dot in between the ones we just did. Okay, next step, we're going to take the pink twirly, the smaller end, with paint color F, and we're going to put 2 small dots on either side of our big dots that we placed. Okay, next step, we're going to take the black stick with paint color D, and we're going to put this dot above the small dots we made, or above basically paint color C. Okay, next step, we're going to take the pink twirly, the smaller end with paint color B. So with the smaller end, we're going to put a small dot above like this. Then you're going to re-dip, start next to it, and drag around. Okay, next step, we're going to take the pink twirly again. We're going to use both sides, but we're going to use the bigger end first. We're going to use paint color C. So with the bigger end, you're going to place basically 3 dots like this, kind of like a pyramid. Then you'll switch to the smaller end, dip in the paint, and drag around again.
Color or sleeves?
Yes.
See big end, then middle end.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next step, we're going to take the black stick and the yellow twirly. So with the black stick and paint color E, going to put a dot there, and then with the smaller end of the yellow twirly, drag the paint down in between to make a teardrop.
And paint number E.
Yes. Okay, next step, we're going to use the pink stick with paint color C. And we're going to put it right above the teardrops. Okay, next step, we're going to take the pink twirly with paint color E, and we're going to use the bigger end for the first dot and then you'll switch to the smaller end to walk the dots around.
There is some satisfaction to doing this on the toaster, yeah. It's so smooth.
Okay, next step, we're going to take the pink twirly again with the bigger and smaller end, and with paint color F. Bigger end for the first dot, and you'll walk the dots with the smaller end. Okay, next step, we're going to take the white twirly, bigger end and smaller end, with paint color D, and we're going to walk the dots.
B or D?
D. Okay, next step, we're going to take the black stick and the white twirly. So we're going to use paint color B. So with the black stick, you're going to place the first dot, and then with the white twirly bigger end, going to walk the dots.
Easy boy.
Sorry?
Easy boy.
Yes. Okay, next step, we're going to take the white twirly, bigger end, with paint color C. And we're going to start in between the first and the second dot of the walking the dots and drag down.
See? I'm so bad at dragging.
Okay, next step, we're going to take the white twirly, bigger end, with paint color F. And we're going to place 3 dots like this. Okay, to finish off this coaster, we're going to take the pink twirly. We're going to use both sides, but we're going to use the bigger end first with paint color E as an elephant. And we are going to make some seashells. So with the bigger end, you're going to do 1 drag straight down. And then also with the other end, or with the bigger end, you're going to do 2 more drags right next to it, but slightly lower than the first one. Then you'll switch to the smaller end dip in the paint and do 2 more on each side. So you should end up with 5 drags in your, wait, not 5. 7,
Six.
7. 7. You should end up with 7.
Oh, yeah,
Because 3 on each side, but then 1 in the middle.
Okay, let's do it. As long as it didn't fall in. Might not want to have a cone. It's just the seashell. The rest actually doesn't look